And hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 28 of Shooting the Shit with Jim. I am your host, Jim, and this is a very special episode. For the first time since the beginning of this episode, we are going with a guest who has no affiliation whatsoever with YouTube of any kind. I wanted to broaden the horizons of this show a little bit and talk to people outside of the YouTube community to get their perspectives. And the first guest in this ongoing series, if it goes well, so no pressure, Ray, is Mr. Ray Sidman, otherwise known as Film Nerdness 101. How you doing, Ray?
I'm good, Jim. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for being here. Now, for people who don't know who you are, Ray is a former journalist, pop culture journalist, and he is a current college instructor. And I met Ray through Blue Sky on social media. But more importantly, we first became aware of each other through a podcast hosted by Scott Weinberg called Overhated, which I cannot recommend enough. And I'm really hoping someday I'll be able to get Scott as a guest either on this show or on Talking Movies. But for those who don't know what that is, Overhated is a podcast that Scott Weinberg hosts where he calls in a guest and they do one particular movie that for whatever reason, some people either thought that it's a piece of shit or it was a flop at the time or whatever. And you go on there and you defend it. And the first time that I became aware of Ray, he was a guest on that show. And Ray, what was the classic movie that you picked for that episode?
Oh, the pirate movie.
The pirate movie. Now, I remember when I saw the pirate
like
movie.
A good challenge, so here we are.
When I saw the pirate movie coming up, I was like, the pirate movie? Really? But then I listened to your episode and I understood why you picked it. Okay. Your daughter was a big fan and your kids, and you watched it with them and this and that. And that was great. And that episode was much more entertaining than the movie itself. But I commented on that video saying, hey, great job, blah, blah, blah. And then we started following each other on Blue Sky. So the rest is history. So I've been babbling pretty much, for 5 minutes straight here. Give us a little bit of a background about yourself, Ray.
Well, as you mentioned, I was a pop culture journalist. This is a while ago. I've been a college instructor for 17 years now. Prior to that, my pop culture journalist career lasted about 4 or 5 years. I originally had a background in journalism, and then I got to the point where journalism didn't really want me around anymore. And I also decided I couldn't do I'm not into the 24/7 news cycle being, right, on call. And so I was cool with getting out of journalism, which originally, when I was in college, my original goal had been to become a college instructor. Journalism ended up being kind of once I graduated, I had 3 degrees at that point. Associates in photojournalism, actually, and then bachelor's and master's in English. And I had a wife who'd already been out of college for, I think, 4 years at that point. We had when I graduated, my son was born 2 months later. So it was very much a get a job. So I got a job and kind of segued into journalism from there. I was actually a numismatics journalist for 4 years. So if you're not into numismatics, folks, that's just coin collecting, and also people who collect banknotes, the U.S. Mint and the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, both of which I've been to multiple times. And that was also a really cool career. But the company I was at, which focused on collectibles if it's collectible, they had magazines and books and all sorts of stuff out for it. So I spent my 4 years in numismatics trying to segue over to the pop culture division. They finally had an opening there and asked me if I wanted to join. So for about 4 or 5 years, as my mom would put it at the time, my son gets paid to read comics, play games, watch movies, and listen to music. It was a pretty sweet gig.
I want that fucking job.
It was an awesome job. I loved it. But I was also good when it when it was over.
Yeah.
Because man, I love teaching college. I've never had a job as satisfying as I do now, and I've been able to say that for the 17 years I've been teaching.
That's
So
awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. Not too many people actually get to do what they set out to do and actually enjoy doing it. So you're
Especially for
living the dream here.
17 years.
Absolutely. So you're living the dream, my friend. So good for
Yeah.
you. That's awesome. That really is.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we talked a little bit briefly before the show started. That's what I wanted to. I had aspirations to be either Gene Siskel or Roger Ebert because the thought of sitting in a movie theater all day long and watching movies and getting paid for it to me just seemed like the ultimate gig. So what happened? I got Roger Ebert's stomach and Gene Siskel's hairline and not the gig. But oh well. Say hello to some of the people in the comments here real quickly. My good friend Texas is there. Hello, Texas. Thank you so much for being here as always, my friend. One of my partners in crime, Kenny. Hey, Kenny, how you doing today, Mr. Yam King? There he is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And all the way from Ireland, Alan is here. Hello, Alan. Good evening, gents. Hello from Dublin, Ray. I hope you have a very pleasant evening. As long as Jim isn't overly grumpy, it's achievable. You're here,
Goals.
Alan. How could I be grumpy if you're here, Alan? And you know what? You're going to love Kenny. Here you go, Ray. Don't you ever talk bad about the pirate movie.
Yeah, it's still a comfort food watch for me. So, yeah.
And the lovely villainous vixen Jen is here as well. Hello, Jen. And speaking of Jen will be the next guest on our show in 2 weeks, but we'll get to that a little bit towards the end of the show. But thank you so much, Jen, and everyone else who is here in the comments. Now, Ray, generally we do try to stick to movies here, and I know you are a big time movie fan because we talk about movies constantly on Blue Sky. I'd say 90% of the conversations we have are about certain movies or whatever. Okay, you'll bring up yesterday you brought up a Dolph Lundgren movie that I had never heard of. What was the name of that, by the way?
Men of War from 1994.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, I didn't write it down yesterday, but I'm going to write it down right now.
And I buried the lead on that one. I forgot. It was co-written by John Sayles.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you did.
Right? Okay. Yeah, I kind of buried the lead on that one.
Fuck yeah,
John Sayles, who, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you did bury the lead. I mean, fuck Dolph Lundgren. No, you kind of were hyping that one up, and I noticed that some people in the comments were like, "Oh yeah, I love that movie and stuff." So yeah, I will check that one out.
Yes.
Just
it's like free on Prime for what that's worth.
Just like how I got you to watch The Boys and Company C, which I am very proud of, by the way, because Dog Soldiers was already on your list, so I can't take credit for that one. But
no, but it gave me a bit of an incentive to watch it sooner, so I had that little boost going for me.
Yeah,
so,
but I'll totally take the Boys and Company C, because even if you didn't like it, which I know you did, but even if you didn't like it, I'm just happy when anybody watches that fucking movie, because nobody's ever heard of it, so.
Yep.
But anyways, getting back to the movie thing, I ask every guest this. Do you remember what the first movie was that you saw at the cinema, regardless if it was a drive-in, an indoor, a kid's movie, an adult movie, whatever? What's your earliest movie memory? You don't have to necessarily remember the movie, but you remember.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know what I mean?
Then we're good. Then we're good, because it was also my first drive-in memory. I'm guessing I was maybe 3. All I remember is sitting in the back seat of a car, and it was some movie that took place in a wilderness somewhere. I have a few vague flashing images of, like, I don't know, like some sort of African safari view, and my parents sitting in the front seat. I don't remember any conversation because I was very young. 3, maybe 4 would be my guess. Beyond that, I have some memories of a young age of my mom taking me to see animated Disney movies in the theater.
Nice.
So,
anyone in particular?
The one I mainly remember is when I was a little bit older. So I was probably 8 or 9, went to see Sword in the Stone.
I love that.
I love Sword in the Stone.
That's my favorite classic Disney movie, believe it or not. Wally's
It's
my
top five
favorite.
for me.
Wally's my
Yeah.
favorite, new version, that's
Yep.
Pixar, but still newer Disney movie.
Yep.
But if you go back to the classic ones, yeah, Sword in the Stone is mine for whatever reason. I adore that movie. Do you remember the first DVD you ever bought?
Yeah, I remember I bought two of them. And I even remember I got my DVD player as a graduation gift when I got my master's degree, because I know you asked this for a backstory, and this was back when they were new. So the DVD player was this gigantic, bulky thing. And the only reason I know how much it costs is they weren't readily available. So my parents told me, well, we'll pay for it if you're willing to drive and go get it. So I drove 3 hours to go get it from a store in Salina, Kansas, and it was close to $500.
Jesus.
And then I went out and I bought the DVDs for the Aliens Extended Edition, and Suicide Kings. And those were the two DVDs I picked up.
Nice.
Those were my first ones. Yeah.
You never forget your first.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
just like my first DVD was Shrek.
I win.
I bought that for the children that were
Not
living with me at the time. So
no, that's cool.
Because I got a PS2.
Yeah, see,
I never had a DVD player until I got a PS2. And then I was like, and then I bought Shrek.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's just say I got in good with the lady for that shit, so.
Yeah, no. And those still work. My best friend, in fact, I was talking with him recently, because he just uses a PS5 to play Blu-rays and everything. And, he's annoyed that Sony has said the PS6 won't even have a disc port.
Digital
and
only.
He's not happy about that. And I'm like, because he's never had a Blu-ray, a Blu-ray or DVD player. He's just been using PS for decades now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
The first Blu-ray player I ever got was a PS3. So, yeah.
There you go.
I understand that completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are your favorite genres of film?
Horror would be top. Then, man, I am just all over the friggin' place, but probably action movies. Because I watch if you can name a film genre, I have it in my collection. I can pretty much guarantee. So yeah, dramas after that. But yeah, I do. I watch to various extents. Like I watch maybe a dozen documentaries a year, so it's pretty low on the totem pole. But yeah, horror and action are at the top of the list, but I also just I also watch a fair amount of art house type films. So, I can be a pretentious jerk at times.
That's okay.
Ask my family. They'll vouch for me on this.
Do you have a least favorite genre? I mean, you don't necessarily have to hate it, but
no. Do I have a least favorite genre? What do I probably watch the least of? I mean, offhand, I'm thinking Westerns, but I still have, I love Tombstone and Bone Tomahawk and the original True Grit. So I still enjoy Westerns a bit, but that is probably the genre I watch least of, even though Good, Bad, and the Ugly is probably in my top 25 of all time, and I've watched it 20, 30 times. But probably Westerns are the one I watch the least.
No, that's fair. I mean, again, because I always say that I'm not really a musical guy, but I've got at least 5 or 6 musicals on my shelf.
I stand corrected. It's probably musicals, but especially the older I get, the more I get into those.
Yeah.
I'm yesterday I purchased my annual tickets to see Rocky Horror Picture Show midnight showing at the Music Box in Chicago.
Love the Music Box. Love the Music Box.
Oh yeah. I was there 2 weekends ago went down for 2 days and just watched a bunch of movies with a buddy there. So,
I told you on Blue Sky, I saw Reanimator there.
Back
when I saw Henry Portrait of the Serial Killer there on the screening that Ebert was at. That basically broke that movie open, because at that point nobody wanted to show it, and he had basically had not a private screening but a public screening, but he was pushing it, and I was lucky enough to go to that particular screening, and Yeah, love that movie and love that theater. Haven't been there in years, but all right, real quickly before I go, because I noticed some more people jumped in here real quick after Jen. See, Jen just brings everybody in. There's my other partner in crime, Sean, is here. Hello, Sean. Thank you so much for being here, as always, my friend. And Alan's got a question here. Random question. If you could bring back one old school Hollywood legend for one more movie, who would you go for? Mine is Gregory Peck. Watched Boys from Brazil recently. I just watched that movie again recently too. And even though I enjoy it, I forgot how cheesy that movie is. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, yep. It's been a while, back in college, and I'm trying to. Yeah, the author of the book was Ira.
The guy who wrote
11.
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, whole bunch of them. Ira 11, right?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah. So I guess off the cuff, I'm going to say I'd bring back Louise Brooks, old silent star. Yeah.
Okay,
She was,
that one flew over my fucking head.
That's okay. Like I said, I can be a pretentious jerk at times.
I gotta hit my pen.
The list is long of who I would bring back, but I've always been particularly enamored with Louise Brooks and kind of wish, I don't know. So there you go. Bring back, which I think that's also kind of showing just she was a Kansas native. I'm a Kansas native. That has nothing to do with my choice, but maybe subconsciously there's some sort of a connection.
We're going old school Hollywood legend. Okay.
Apparently, yeah.
I will go with Warren Oates. I fucking loved Warren Oates.
Yeah.
But if we're going with a newer school Hollywood legend, I'll go with Bill Paxton because I miss that guy every day. He was such a great actor. But
if we're doing that, sorry, I cut you off. Please finish.
No, not at all. Go ahead.
Okay, I do that a lot, so just say shut the fuck up, Ray. Robin Williams, if we're going newer. I still that still gets to me sometimes. I miss Robin Williams. And his birthday was just the 21st, actually. He would have been 75. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Extremely sad what happened with Robin Williams. Extremely. Yeah. But great question, Alan. Thank you so much. But yeah, the Gregory Peck thing and Boys from Brazil. I forget, like I said, there's a one particular scene where this woman's like, "Get a doctor." I am a doctor. Shut up, you old bitch. I mean, the way he says it, it's fucking brilliant, man. Anthony's there. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for being here as well. Matthew is here. Hello, Matthew. Thank you for being here. Jen says she loves Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. It's a hard watch, man.
Yeah.
And my good friend Ray is here. Of course, Ray is here. Carlos is here. Hey, Uncle Jim Carlos. And Ray, welcome to YouTube streaming. Have fun. Yeah, thank you so much. And Matthew would definitely bring back John Candy, and I know Kenny would definitely agree with you on that, Matthew. Right. He loves John Candy. Okay, we're going to play the first game of the day. And again, you're not familiar with the show, so this will totally be new for you, but we're going with a game that I like to call Top 3. I will give you a genre of film. And off the top of your head, and I cannot stress it enough, off the top of your head, rattle off the top 3 movies of that particular genre. Okay?
All right.
And again, nobody's going to hold a gun to your head. Nobody's going to hold this against you if you say the wrong answer.
No, I will throw in the caveat. I'm a fickle person. Like any given day, if you ask me what my top 5 favorite movies are, it's going to be different from day to day. But yeah, let it rip.
Fair enough, because that's more or less the way I am. So, okay. Top 3 sci-fi. Go.
Blade Runner, Alien, and at the moment, I will go with Strange Days because I'm apparently in a cyberpunk mood.
Nobody talks about that movie, and that movie needs a Blu-ray. That movie needs a fucking Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's been out of print for a long time. Yeah, I'm really happy I have the DVD.
I do too.
Which I found. That's the last time it was released
at the Goodwill store.
Ditto.
$2 and had a heart attack and was like, ah!
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I sidetracked myself. Top 3 horror films.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Um, let's see. Yeah, because where my brain is. I'm going to go more recently. Come True, if you haven't seen it. It's Canadian 2020. It's kind of divisive in that I love it. A lot of people get to the end and say, damn it, that sucked. Whereas I love what they did with the ending. I thought it was kind of brilliant. And then I'll go with Suspiria at the moment, the original, the Argento. But again, ask me tomorrow. I'll have 3 different ones.
Top 3 comedies.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this is brain bubble. So I'm going to go with what I've been thinking of recently, which would be Animal House. Man, I was even just thinking about this the other day. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to go with what I've been thinking of recently. Ghostbusters. Sorry, I have something in my brain and now it's going bubble on me. So what the hell? Oh, right. With Noah and I. That's what I was trying to think of.
Another deep cut that nobody talks about. Good.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah, because I just watched it, I don't know, not that long ago, and I added it to I have an ongoing list of one of my favorite movies ever. So the Bruce Robinson movie. Yeah. So I love With Noah and I.
Richard E. Grant, man. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Even when he's in a shit movie like Hudson Hawk, he's great. And
the only thing I'll say to that is I love Hudson Hawk, but I understand why people hate it.
I happen to love Hudson Hawk, but I don't know why.
Oh,
because it's not a good movie.
I love quirky movies where, just quirky. Like I was listening to one of your recent episodes of Talking Movies, and I know you mentioned you were not a fan of Scott Pilgrim. I love Scott Pilgrim, but a big part of it is it's the quirkiness. It's that absurdist out of nowhere stuff. Yeah. But it's select taste. I know a lot of people that cannot stand Hudson Hawk. They cannot stand Scott Pilgrim, and I just go for that type of quirkiness.
Yeah, I didn't hate Scott Pilgrim. I was just underwhelmed by it, and I knew I wouldn't watch it.
That's fair.
You know, okay. I mean, I'm glad I watched it. And again, there were moments in that movie I thought were hysterically funny. The whole Chris Evans, Chris Evans with the stunt doubles, I thought was great. I mean, you know.
And I agree that Kieran Culkin is the best part of that movie. I remember you mentioned that, and I'm like, oh yeah, he steals the hilarious
show. Every scene he's in, he's gold. I mean, and again, I like Michael Cera. It's just he doesn't really come across as Bruce Lee badass to me. I'm sorry, you know, it's just whatever. Okay.
Yep.
Top 3 war movies.
Even though this isn't normally on the list, just because I was thinking of it recently, I'm going to go with Saving Private Ryan.
Great movie.
One I saw recently was Pressure.
I like that movie.
I enjoyed that. Yeah. Oh, okay. You did watch it. I love that it comes in. It's a tight 90 minutes, which that kind of movie, it's supposed to be 2.5, 3 hours long minimum. Yeah. And it would take away the credits. It's 90 minutes. And again, I've got something I was just thinking of the other day, and my brain isn't letting me access it. Says the dude drinking a beer at the moment. Maybe I should just avoid that.
Hey, grab an edible and even
what's
it out.
That?
I said grab an edible and even it out.
Yeah, right. That's bugging me. So I'm just going to go with Full Metal Jacket, even though while that's top tier, it's not my favorite. It's not even... that's not even a top 3 favorite Kubrick movie for me, but it's
classic.
It's one of those foundational movies I grew up on. Like I have a cassette that a friend made me from back then, and he put in like Arlie Ermey's entire, the pep talk from in there, and that sort of thing. So I have most of that movie memorized line by line.
To me, you are all equally worthless.
Modern art masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But again, I still prefer him in Boys and Company C. As great as he is
Yeah.
in Full Metal Jacket, he's more realistic in Full Metal or in Boys and Company C.
He shows more range in that.
Yeah.
Like there's like in Full Metal Jacket, he's just straightforward,
It's a
boom, boom, boom.
caricature.
Yeah, he's like conflicted in Boys and Company C, and I
Yeah.
really dig that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because that's what I felt was missing from Full Metal Jacket. You've got all these scenes with him screaming at these guys, but you don't have the scene where he's pulling them to the side saying, "Listen, asshole, I'm trying to save your life, and if you
oh
just
yeah, yeah,
fucking listen to me, you might
yep,
live." I mean, they didn't have any of that in Full Metal Jacket. So, all right,
right,
sidetracking myself again. Now we've
good.
already established that you're not a particular fan of this genre, but you do like certain ones. So, top 3 westerns.
I think I probably rattled them off. So Tombstone, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and I'll go with Bone Tomahawk. But again, ask me tomorrow. I don't know that that'll be on the list. Tombstone is almost always at the top.
Okay,
I I
any
just
Kurt
love
Russell
Tombstone.
western, you're good.
Yeah.
Now here you go. You're gonna have to think about this one.
Good
Top
luck.
3 teacher movies, since you're a teacher.
Oh, good Lord. Okay. Dead Poet Society, Pump Up the Volume, because that takes place at a high school and education is a big part of that. Oh, and those were like two that actually pivoted that helped guide me into my career. So another teacher one. At this point, I'm even just trying to think of a teacher related movie.
Or a school movie.
Yeah, or school movie. I mean, all the ones I'm thinking of, I can't in any way justify as favorites. Yeah, I'll throw out Cooley High just because it's in my brain, but it's I enjoy that one. It's
Cooley
when I
High is
see
a
it.
great
But
movie.
yeah, it is absolutely.
The
But I will say,
ending
actually,
is
I mean, Dead.
just, oh God,
Yeah,
the ending of that movie.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, Dead Poet Society and Pump Up the Volume actually changed me as a human being and helped guide me to want to be an instructor. So
Nice.
there you go.
Okay, jump back in the chat here real quickly here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Jen agrees with your pick from Alien. Patrick agrees. Hello, Patrick. Agrees with Come True. He says it's brilliant.
Yes.
Matthew says for sci-fi, his 3 would be Aliens, Deep Impact, and 9-1. I don't know what that is. But okay, thank you. Patrick says, hello, Jim and Ray. Extra bonus to Ray for mentioning an IFC Midnight title. He's all about IFC Midnight. So, yeah.
Nice.
And Carlos with his movie face-offs. Okay, movie actor face-off. Who would you prefer and why? First one, Richard Pryor versus Eddie Murphy.
Ugh. Wow, that's tough. I'm going to go with Eddie Murphy just because that's probably more of my generation. Richard Pryor. Yeah, yeah. I was more into Eddie Murphy just because the age I came in. Let's see. I'll go with Harrison Ford over Kurt Russell. But again, ask me tomorrow. Mel Gibson over Jeff Bridges. And Mel Gibson, I just love, in terms of action movies, Martin Riggs is the action hero that I've always been able to relate to a little bit more. In
Okay.
fact, there are times in my life where I kind of, so what Martin Riggs am I today? Am I Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon 3? Where's my brain at today? Fortunately, not Lethal Weapon 1 very often.
I was going to say, you jumping off of buildings and shit.
Right, exactly. Dude, I have done some crazy crap in my time. I won't go down that rabbit hole, but yeah. And Jeff Bridges, again, these are all awesome actors, but that's at the moment where I would fall.
See, I'll say Richard Pryor is the better comedian, but Eddie Murphy is the better actor because Richard Pryor, for the most part, got stuck in shitty movies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go with Eddie Murphy as far as that goes, but I love them both. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kurt Russell. I've had a heterosexual love affair with Kurt Russell since I was a small child. So I got to go with Kurt Russell as much as I love Harrison Ford, but Kurt Russell is very important to me. Mel Gibson's the better movie star. Jeff Bridges is the better actor.
That's fair.
That being said, between Mad Max and Lethal Weapon, yeah, I got to go with fucking Mel Gibson. So, you know, and that's without including shit like Braveheart and everything else. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carlos, as always. Alan says, comedy-wise, I rewatched There's Something About Mary recently. It still works. Absolutely. I love that movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in a while. I enjoyed the Farrelly brothers, but I have not seen that one in a hot minute anyway. But enjoy it.
Kingpin's still my favorite Farrelly brother movie. I love Kingpin. But
that's another one. I enjoy it a lot. I have not seen it in a while. But yeah, absolutely.
Matthew says for horror, Pet Cemetery, Carrie, and Sleepaway Camp.
There we go. Sleepaway Camp. I'm wearing the right t-shirt.
And Patrick says, damn it. I need to see Pet Chemistry. Was that an Asylum movie, Patrick? He's into Asylum movies as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Words and Pictures is here. And they have Porky's is set at a school. My fucking sister took me to see Porky's when I was like, let's see, Porky's came out in what, 81? So yeah, I was like 13 somewhere going on 14. Yeah. My sister took me to see it. Mr. Hallam's Opus is the teacher movie.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yep.
Stand and Deliver I always liked.
Okay, I probably would have gone with that one if I thought about Stand and Deliver. I fell in love with that one in high school. Yeah. And that's also one that is just out of print. The only way you can get it is full screen DVD. It's like, yep. Yeah. I do really enjoy Stand and Deliver.
And Matthew says there's no Eddie Murphy without Richard Pryor. And yes, you are
also that.
Absolutely correct. And Eddie Murphy will be the first one to say that. So. Yep. Okay. Thank you for those comments, everybody. Okay. We are going to go to moving on to our next little game here. This is called Overrated, Underrated. You come up with a movie that you, by and large, think is overrated as hell. You don't necessarily have to hate it, but you just think it's overrated. And the flip side of that is a movie that, by and large, people dismiss or flat out think is a piece of shit. And you're like, no, it's underrated. And here's why. And I'll give you a minute to think about it.
Okay. I mean, I can go into the overrated pretty easily. Okay. The MCU. And I say this as, again, I was a pop culture journalist in part. The primary magazine I worked on was Comics Buyer's Guide, which when it finally went under in January of 2013, had been around for 40 years. I've been collecting comics like actively a long time. I have over 20,000 comics.
Wow.
And I still actively collect. Yeah. So and I'm not trying to say my opinion matters more, but it's one, I feel it does add some gravitas to it when someone like me says, I've been burnt out on comic book movies for a decade. There's some I still watch, but really going back to Avengers 2 and on, there are a lot of them I simply haven't watched, or when I do watch them, I trudge through them. And there's some I really enjoy, like Winter Soldier. I friggin' love Winter Soldier. Yeah. It's still like a lot of the MCU could have been 20 minutes shorter, but I love Winter Soldier. But man, I'm just, in fact, I also have fun when people ask me, so what are your favorite comic book movies? And the first thing I say is, number one is Unbreakable. And they just go, huh? Unbreakable. Like that's a comic book movie. Watch the movie. It's a comic book movie.
Absolutely. It's a good answer.
There's literally a comic book art store as a central part of the movie. And then my number two is usually Logan.
Yeah.
Which, despite that it clocks in at 2 hours and 17 minutes, not too long for me.
It doesn't
I
feel
love the
like
length of that movie. Yeah, no, it rolls.
That's the difference. It doesn't feel like it's 2 hours plus. That movie is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the MCU is what your answer would be for the most part for being overrated, right?
Yeah, overrated as
And
much
that's
as I do.
totally justified because
Yeah.
this is, not to cut you off before you go into your underrated, but I'm more. I mean, obviously you're more into the subject than I am. Okay, but I love those movies originally. Okay, I own them
Mhm.
all. But like you, man, after Endgame, okay,
Mhm.
I have just gotten so burned out on all the different TV shows and different movies and different. It became homework as opposed to
Yeah.
entertainment, to the point where I just dropped out. I didn't watch any of the TV shows with the exception of WandaVision. And with the newer movies, outside of the Deadpool Wolverine movie, which is its own thing, I
Right.
could care less about any of the fucking shit that came out after Endgame. Really. I mean, it's just like, I really don't care. There's a new Avengers movie coming out this year that, quite honestly, I could care less about.
That's kind of been my reaction to it as well. I'm just
I feel the
like,
same way towards Marvel that I do about Star Wars. And this is a guy who is an original Star Wars guy. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
that
that's
that
fair.
that
You were,
Mandalorian movie came out, and I was like, I don't give a shit. But then I ended up watching it anyways, and I was like, you know what? This movie's a kids movie, which is fine because they're all kids movies. But this could have easily have been a fucking TV movie, and it's one that I will never watch again. So,
mhm.
yeah. Okay, underrated.
Okay. And thank you for enabling me to stall mentally when
Hey,
you said that. So,
that's
as much as I like to go with indie movies and that sort of thing, I'm actually going to go with one I tend to bang the drum for, even though it's already ridiculously popular and has been for decades, and that's Risky Business. Because
love risky business.
it's, it tends to, and it was marketed this way. So I totally understand why people end up going there. It was marketed as a teen sex comedy, especially in the 80s. And
It's not.
I'm not going to get political here, but I tend to look at a lot of the 80s teen sex comedies. They're kind of sex crimes on film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Risky Business not only isn't that, it's not a teen sex comedy.
No.
There's almost no sex in it. There's even less nudity. I mean, there's what, maybe 10 seconds of nudity, and it's just the one scene that,
Yep.
like that. There's almost no sex in it. And what is there is, not only is it done very tastefully, it's one of those rare movies where the sex scene has a purpose.
Right.
It's like Terminator. The sex scene in the Terminator actually is integral to the story, and it's also tastefully done. Risky Business, and there's the sex scene at the end on the train, but that, again, it's super slow mo. It's really not even there. Has a purpose. But the first one, where Joel, Tom Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay meet for the first time, and it kind of shows them having sex, but the camera pans across a bunch of photos of him as a child. Like,
Yep.
that's brilliant. Loss of innocence.
Yep.
It's serving a purpose. This movie has a lot of depth. It has a lot of pathos. Later in the movie, where it's just showing how messed up he is. And I understand the argument of, oh, boo hoo, rich, suburban white dude, teenager in the 80s. I'm like, yep, totally get you. He has so many advantages, not arguing that. But he's torn up, he's messed up. And in the one montage, he just goes, bikes across town, finds Rebecca De Mornay, and he's just bawling.
Yep.
And he falls into her arms. And there's a lot of depth and pathos here that this movie has a lot to say. And it unfortunately it's still nowadays, when I mention this to people, they're like, oh, I've never watched it. It's like one of those teen sex comedies. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's a coming of age
Yeah.
movie, if anything.
Yep.
And it's
absolutely.
a fantasy. I mean, it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie.
That's right. Yep.
It's a great movie.
And it does have a lot of comedy, and it's a lot of it's subversive comedy, and it's just
hilarious.
It's well done. Oh yeah. Yeah. What's his name? Curtis Armstrong.
Yeah.
He is.
Sometimes you gotta say what the fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I like
exactly.
the montage of Tom Cruise going around pimping out, recruiting guys, to come to the party. You see, college girls can smell ignorance. like dog shit. It's so good.
Yeah. What school are you going to? Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, big school.
Big school. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. My mom took me to see that one. Okay.
You know what? My mom screamed bloody murder when I watched it because she was not happy that I saw it.
No.
Can I go into a little bit of a sidebar here? Would this
Sure. Absolutely.
So I was in what would be described as I don't even want to say the Bad News Bears. It's even worse than that, of Boy Scout troops.
Okay.
We were awful, dude. Like we would go to camporees and people would be like, "Oh, God damn it, Troop 113's here." Like we would get called out up front. They'd say, "Okay, here's the activity going on. Troop 113, do not do this or this or this." And there's 30 troops sitting here all just staring at us. And we're like, what the shit? So as an example of how we deserve that reputation. So I'm in 7th grade, I think, at this point. And we had the scout house, which was not set as a scout house, but in the small town we were in, that's what it was borrowed for. So the scout leader decided that night we're all being left alone. And we had some older scouts. There was at least one dude who was like a freshman or sophomore in high school. He was in charge. Scoutmaster rented a bunch of movies, and the scout house is basically kitchen and then big open room. It's where they would hold banquets and stuff for various civic activities. And so Scoutmaster just rented a bunch of movies and left us to our own devices. So, other movies that were rented that evening, one of the which my mom still wasn't happy about it, but my parents were super strict. Watched Weird Science. Cool, PG-13. Hot Dog the movie. Fraternity Vacation. Where the Boys Are, 84.
That's PG.
Yeah. And I remember especially they popped in Risky Business and watched that one at least twice. Same with Hot Dog the movie.
I was going to say, Hot Dog the movie is probably the raunchiest out of all of those.
Yeah.
You know,
And again, we're talking, I mean,
around her fucking head.
Yeah, especially looking back at Hot Dog the movie and Fraternity Vacation. Speaking of movies that are sex crimes, those are definitely in that wheelhouse. But so we were problematic as a. I remember one time we showed up and our scoutmaster at the time, you know, your Boy Scouts, we're supposed to have a campfire going. We didn't start the freaking fire. He literally had a homemade flamethrower made out of a propane tank.
Oh, hell yeah.
He walked up and just turned it on and fire going. We were set. So we were awful. Part of my adolescent development.
That's part of the fun of camping, you know, as far as I'm concerned, flamethrowers and s'mores, you know.
Yeah.
Gareth is here from the UK and he says, "Hey, nice to see some respect for marshmallow."
Oh yeah, that's actually well, you can't. Okay, so I'm gonna boast here a little bit. You probably can't see it. It's autographed by the director. He's the one who sent it to me because we're friends. I've known him a decade now, something like that.
Nice.
So yeah, that's an actual original poster from the director. Yeah, Daniel Del Purgatorio.
Nice. Jen says Infinity War was her favorite. Infinity War.
I enjoyed that one.
Is the modern day equivalent of Empire Strikes Back. Sometimes the baddie wins. Yeah, I mean, I remember people crying at the end of that fucking movie, and I'm like, you do remember that this is part 1 of 2. Half these people that just disappeared are probably going to come back, you know what I mean? But now, crying at the end of Endgame, I understand where those tears were coming from, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
And Barry is here all the way from the UK. Hi, lads, with Ray on the MCU. Complete shite. Yeah, he hates all those types of movies. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite as well.
Yeah, ditto.
Yep. And let's see here. Alan just subscribed to Jen's channel, which is always very nice. Okay, let's see here. Barry says, Time Bomb with Michael Biehn and Fair Game with William Baldwin are underrated films. Fair Game That's the one with Cindy Crawford, and that was supposed to be something else. What the fuck was it? Was it Speed 2 or something? No, not Speed 2.
No.
That was originally supposed to be something else.
I remember that one. I know I've seen it, but man, I haven't seen it this century. I don't know that I've seen Time Bomb with Michael Biehn, but
I saw that on VHS way back when, but I don't remember.
See, that's what I'm thinking. That's totally my wheelhouse. That's the sort of thing totally would have watched. So if I've seen it, I've simply it has gone with the tumbleweeds.
It's in the ether somewhere. Ollie's here. Hello, Ollie. Yeah. Hello. Want to show quickly my support. Thank you so much, mate. He's another UK friend. Okay, I think we're caught up. And of course, Alan has to be cheeky. You've missed nothing, Ollie. Jim being carried by the guest as usual.
Thought it was me that was carrying this. No.
Exactly. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
You're carrying the show as usual. Okay. Next game.
Yeah.
I love this game. This is called Best Decade. You get to pick one decade and one decade only per genre of film that you think best represents that particular genre. Okay.
Hit me.
And I don't want to hear none of this. Well, the time between 85 and 95 is the real, no. You get.
I was actually wondering about that. Can I say 83 to 93? No, that's totally fair.
Nope.
Cool.
70, and you can go all the way back to the golden age of cinema, all the way up to now. Okay.
Now I have an operational definition of the rules. Yeah, hit me.
All right. Best decade for comedy. And give some examples.
You see, the problem here is most of these, I'm going to go here at the 90s. And most of them, just because of my age.
Yeah, which is fine.
I'm going to go 90s. And what did you just said something else a second
ago?
Give
some examples for
well, you know comedies. Me well enough to know I'm going to go with Clerks. And Pulp Fiction, and let's see if I can come up with some other movies by white dudes. I mean, that's
no, that's good enough. Best
yeah.
decade for drama.
The 90s. Heat. Yeah, and here's something else. The older I've gotten, the more I get into crime dramas. Up until about 10 years ago, I was like, meh. Oh, dude, I watch so much in crime dramas nowadays. Heat has skyrocketed into awesome. One of my favorite movies. Yeah.
Heat's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
Top decade for action.
That one, I'm probably going to go with 80s because we've got Die Hard, we've got Lethal Weapon, and actually missed Die Hard 2 by 7 months on that decade. But yeah, Schwarzenegger's bigger. And, I almost said Terminator, but Terminator actually, it has action. I would call that just as much of a horror movie as it's action, horror, drama, sci-fi equally, I would say.
It transcends.
You've got Schwarzenegger in his heyday, Commando, all of these. So I'm probably going to go 80s for the action.
Top decade or best decade for sci-fi.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with the 80s on that one as well because you got was it the same weekend or within 2 weeks of each other, The Thing and Blade Runner. Yeah. I think those came out the same weekend in 82, if I recall correctly.
Same day.
They both came out 2 weeks after E.T. That's what I'm thinking of. That's why they
came
got
out the same day.
Yeah. But man, again, we've had some awesome sci-fi movies since then. Yeah. I'll go, but I'll stick with that.
Top decade for horror.
Well, I think I can't say 90s, even though Scream was in there, but there was a little bit of a lull, to put it mildly. But I'm going to say 90s, but I am also going to say, and I'm not trying to do the 2016 to 2026, but I feel that within the last 10, 15 years, there has been a real renaissance for horror movies. Mm-hmm. It's been building, even going back, like It Follows. And I understand that has its detractors. That's fine. I know a number of people who hate that movie. I love It Follows. There you go. And that's fine. But I think we've had a bit of a renaissance for that. But again, 80s with the horror, because two of my biggest franchises, period, but especially horror, Evil Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
came out of the 80s.
Have you seen the new Evil Dead movie?
I saw it opening day.
Did you like it?
Yes, I did quite a bit. Yep.
I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Okay.
I thought I'm going to watch it again. Okay. It's one of those movies that I know I have to watch again. Okay. But the problem that I had with it, and I won't go into any spoilers or anything for people who haven't seen it, but the main problem that I had with it, historically with those movies, there's usually one character who's an idiot. Okay.
Mm.
And in this movie, to me, every character was an idiot, or they were mean, or they were senile. And it was like they came into those three categories. Even the lead woman does some shit towards the end of that movie that no right-thinking person would do. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, I'm not going to say she's an idiot. On the contrary, I also wondered how much they were saying that, because this is also it's rare that an Evil Dead movie has some social commentary in it. This one did. It was very big on spousal abuse.
I will say that. You're right.
And so I was wondering if the movie was trying to say something along the lines of, because I actually thought she was a fantastic, final girl. And I was wondering, because I agree, there were times at the end where I was like, but I was wondering if the filmmakers are trying to say, yes, she has been abused for apparently a while in this marriage.
Oh, yeah.
And so if this is like this ingrained, because she's having to, by that point of the movie, it's reflex at that point, if you think you're dead. And so I wonder if the filmmakers are trying to say, yeah, this is kind of where this has come from. I actually thought she was really smart, and I loved that final girl. But I get where you're coming from. I need to
watch it again. Like I said, I will watch it again because I love that series. I own it all. I own the TV series. I mean, I'm an Evil Dead guy, But that one, like I said, and again, I did like it. Okay.
Yep.
But it might be like Evil Dead Rise, because the first time I watched Evil Dead Rise, I kind of felt the same way. I liked it, but I didn't really love it, And then I watched it again, and I was like, and I enjoyed it more the second time around. So,
did you stay through the credits? All the way through the credits?
Yeah.
Okay, just to be clear, there's two credit scenes.
It tied into the other one,
Yeah.
I don't want to
spoil, so I'll shut up.
I don't know how it's going to tie into the next movie, but because apparently that's a prequel.
Yeah, it takes place in 1972.
So we'll see.
I think they're aiming for the movie after that one. Which, I mean, hopefully we'll get. I mean, on day 10 of release, according to Box Office Mojo, Burn made bank. It was at over 50 million. If you follow the 2.5 ROI formula, the return on investment formula, budgeted 20 million, day 10 it made bank. So I'm hoping, okay, cool. We've already got Wrath that's greenlit and filming currently. Hopefully, since Burn has already made bank, maybe they'll greenlight and get another one in the books that I'm assuming if they do, it will totally take that post-credit scene and take us back into Rise.
Yeah.
See where it goes. Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Johnny's here. Hey, Johnny, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Alan says Heat is the definitive cops and robbers movie and one of the best remakes of all time. It's not a remake. The Burt Reynolds movie.
I'm sitting here nodding my head thinking I didn't know it was a remake.
The Burt Reynolds movie Heat is a totally different story.
Oh, yeah, it's a totally different thing. Yep. That's so I don't know. Maybe it is in some obscure 30s movie.
No. He is right. It was originally a TV movie that Michael Mann did. And then he reconfigured it.
That's
absolutely
right.
correct.
I did know that.
I stand corrected. You are correct. I forgot about that.
I did know that. I've watched the extras on my Blu-ray, and I did know that.
Yep. It was originally a TV movie. Good call, Alan. Jen says my favorite decade for horror is the 70s.
I can't argue that.
70s
There's
had
a totally valid
variety.
argument there. Yeah.
I mean, I love the 80s because of the practical effects for horror.
Right. Yeah.
But the 70s definitely had more variety. And quite honestly, those movies were scarier. by and large.
And without the 70s, we wouldn't have the 80s. And I
Right.
don't just mean that in terms of chronology of it, ontologically, chronology of existence here. The 80s movies would not have been around without the awesomeness of the 70s horror movies.
Right. I agree, Jen. The Exorcist and The Omens for starter. Absolutely. There you go.
Yep. The Exorcist is the one movie that scared me ever. I've gotten chills and freaked out by movies, even still to this day. The Exorcist scared the shit out of me the first time I saw it. And it's still, that spider walk, like even saying this right now, I am getting chills. That spider walk fucked me up. It didn't help that the first time I watched it, because I'm one of these, if I'm going to watch a horror movie, I'm going to do it right. I'm turning off the lights. We're doing it right. I was like a sophomore in high school. I invited a bunch of friends over. It's thunderstorming outside. I turned off all the lights. It's around midnight. Pop in The Exorcist. And away we went.
Yeah, see, I saw The Omen at the drive-in. My parents thought I was asleep in the back seat, and I wasn't. And when that little fucker turns around and smiles, I'll never forget that, man. I mean, that was just like that. Just my brain just like exploded. And yeah, I mean, shit, I was like 9, 10 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, The Exorcist kind of got ruined for me because, of course, I didn't see that when it came out. I was way too young for it. But being the youngest of 5 kids, they all saw it before I did. So I knew everything that was going to happen before I actually saw the damn thing. And the first time I saw it was when it was on network TV. And they cut the living shit out of it, okay? So by the time that I finally saw it on VHS, okay, I was in high school at that point. And I had already seen some of these nasty-ass, gross movies like Dawn of the Dead and this and that and the other. So by the time I saw The Exorcist, it didn't scare me at all. Exorcist 3, on the other hand, when that fucking nurse comes out of nowhere, that about made me shit myself.
Yeah.
Jen says she loves those classics. She also loves revenge films like I Spit on Your Grave. I love revenge films, but I've never been a fan of I Spit on Your Grave. I can't get it. I have a hard time watching Last House on the Left as well. It's just, there's something about that type of movie. I'm uncomfortable with it, you know? And again, I don't
and I will
disparage
say,
people who like them. You know, I just,
yeah, and I've had to recontextualize
Jen's a woman and she enjoys those movies. So, I mean, I'm certainly not going to say, you know, but as a guy, I have a hard time watching them.
I spent a lot of times just being like, this doesn't. And then, of all things, one of my daughters told me that she was a fan of the newer I Spit on Your Grave. And I was like, really? And then I started, you know, doing more of a dive. And yeah, there's especially a lot of female friends were like, yes, I like this genre, and here's why. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay. Because I was like, this is treating women like shit, and it's And I'm like, okay, so I'm recontextualizing here and learning. I am still not a huge fan of that subgenre, but I respect it more now.
Yeah, I mean, there are exceptions. Revenge, I really enjoyed from
I have that.
Who directed The Substance. I thought that was a really effective movie. You know,
absolutely. Yep.
So, Ellen says, Jesus does make me feel old. 50th anniversary of The Omen. Holy shit. Absolutely. Tell me about it, buddy. Jen says, one of my favorites is Alice, Sweet Alice. I used to watch that one on cable a lot back in the day.
I had that on Good Times VHS. It was a double feature with Psychomania. I had a Good Times VHS with Alice, Sweet Alice and Psychomania on it. I watched Alice, Sweet Alice way too young because I would try everything. Sorry, I'm totally digressing here. So is that okay, Jim? Yeah. I would try every trick in the book to get shit past my parents. And so when Good Times VHS and they would see all these cutesy little movies and and then I would find some that were like that. I'm like, and so they'd see it and they knew jack shit about horror. They both hated horror. They knew nothing about it. So I could actually get it. Say, this is what I bought. And they would just assume it's all oakley dokley. And then I saw Alice, Sweet Alice way too young. I didn't even understand all of what I was seeing. But yeah, I love Alice, Sweet Alice. Good stuff.
Sounds like me watching Clockwork Orange way too young and going, what the fuck am I watching?
If you want what the fuck, read the book, sir. Have you read the book?
No, I have not. But
Oh,
I've heard that it's different level.
it's in terms of problematic. Yeah, it's a whole different. And I love the book. I've read it 3 times. I had 2 college when I was getting my master's degree and bachelor's degree. Had 2 different classes, at least one. I remember dystopian literature was one of my favorite classes, and we read it in there. But yeah, so I love the book. But if the movie disturbed you, you're not going to want to read it anyway. So
gotcha. It's kind of like American Psycho. People see the movie and they're like, "Oh, the movie's so fun,
Dude.
much fun." I'm like, "You've obviously never read the book."
It is a cakewalk compared to the book.
That book is unthumbable. If they, I mean, it
Oh.
would be unreleasable.
Oh, dude.
It'd be unreleasable.
Yeah.
I know that they're talking about doing a remake of it that's supposed to be more, you know, less of a satire. But again, there's no way. And again, why bother? Because the first one, to me, improves on the book for one thing. And number 2, Christian Bale is iconic in that part. He just is.
I agree with that. I can't say it improves on the book because it's just one of those things where the book and the movie, they're 2 different things. They're apples and oranges.
Yeah, fair enough.
But my big problem with what I've heard about the remake is they're leaning into it will be more of an erotic thriller. What the fuck? There's no part of the book at all where this is erotic. It is no. Where are you getting erotic thriller from? This movie's canceled 20 years before it's even filmed. Yeah, it's
holy shit, man, you made me choke on that one.
Yeah. So I don't want to see the remake if they're sticking with that mindset.
Yeah, no, fuck that, man. All right, moving on.
Yes, sir.
Jen says The Omen is a favorite. Don't mind the second one. I love the second one. It's more like a Final Destination movie than anything. The third movie was not for me. The fourth one doesn't count, and the remake is an abomination. But I like the final conflict just because of Sam Neill. That was the first time I ever saw Sam Neill, and he's great in that movie. He is. So,
well, the fourth one actually kept me from seeing any of the others for years because it was made for TV movie.
Yeah.
And so I watched it when it aired, again, getting shit by my parents because they're like, well, it's a made for TV movie. It's da-da-da-da. So I watched it and I was like, this sucked. Mm-hmm. This is and so I just avoided any Omen movie for like a lot of years. And then I finally saw The Omen and it was like, oh, okay, I should be. And then I promptly watched 2 and 3. And I would agree if I were to rank them 1, 3, 2, and then in 184th place is number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah. And again, that remake is unnecessary. It never needed to be made. It's like the Psycho remake. It's like, watch the original. You know, it's just.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Let's see here. Big Christopher Lee fan, so Taste of Dracula, Blood of Dracula is in there for you, of course.
Yep. Good call.
Love Christopher Lee. And yeah, Alan, you're right. He does LA Takedown was named.
Yes. That. Yep.
And again, thank you for that. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Texas says House on the Edge of the Park is a great revenge movie. Yeah, it is.
I have not seen that one, so there we go. I can't offer an opinion.
It's like a giallo.
With that title, that's a giallo title, to be sure.
Actually seen American Psycho the musical in London with Matt Smith. How the hell does that happen? You what, mate? How the hell would I know?
And Matt Smith, I like Matt Smith. I have not seen anything about the musical. I knew it was a thing, but that's about it.
Sam Neill was great in it. I didn't like the ending. Omen 4 reminds me of a female problem child. Absolutely. The reason why you don't like that ending, Jen, is because that was not the original ending. They totally tacked on that ending because they didn't know how to end it.
Producer's note.
The director was also fired on that movie like a week into filming as well. So Final Conflict's got all kinds of drama behind the scenes on it. I got the Omen box set from Scream Factory, and
Oh, nice.
I listened to the commentary tracks on it. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting tidbits. Have never opened the disc for Omen 4 or the remake. Fuck that shit. Okay, moving on. Now, I know you're a fan of, here, I'll go pat myself on the back here. You're a fan of the show that I do with Sean and Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, we did a show called Needle Drops or Music Mixtape, rather. Okay. And basically, we were coming up with some of our favorite music moments from movies. And I know you're a music guy. Okay.
Yep.
So let's talk soundtracks. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to ask me about needle drops because I immediately had two come to mind.
We will. But we're going to start with soundtracks. Okay. Name a couple of your favorite soundtrack albums.
Heavy metal.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah. Hard to knock heavy metal. In fact, I have fond memories of. I had no idea about this movie. I went with a friend's brother. He was too young. My friend, we were like 11, and he had to be dropped off at his drum lesson. So I'm with his older brother. His brother drops him off at his drumming lesson, and he takes me. I remember we went to Walmart, and he specifically picked up the double cassette heavy metal soundtrack. I was like, "The hell is that?" And he had seen it, and he was like, "Dude, you need to see this movie." It was a number. In fact, and I am of that age as well. If you're of a certain age, there is some sort of subversive story behind how you saw that movie for the first time.
Yep.
And I'm no exception. I pulled some manipulative bullshit to see this movie for the first time. The only thing that made it different, normally I would pull manipulative bullshit with my parents. This time I actually pulled it on an elderly neighbor who had a satellite dish. I told her, I asked her to record a movie, and she's like, "Would your parents approve?" And it was like on some obscure satellite dish channel at 3 a.m. I said, "Just pop the tape in." And I gave her like 15 minutes ahead so I wouldn't miss it, right. And all that. And she was very, she was a daycare provider and everything. And she was, I shouldn't say elderly. she was probably in her 50s, maybe 60 at the time. Which to me at the time, I was you're old.
Right.
And so she said, "Would your parents approve of this movie?" And I totally played on social expectations at the time. And all I told her was, it's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. And she went, "Oh, okay, then we're good." And she recorded it. And I went over a couple of days later and picked up the tape, and I was off at the races.
Yep.
Because I'm a dick. Yeah. Let's see. Beyond that, what are my just because one I've listened to recently, I'll go with Clerks. And here's the thing: I have a shelf with like 100 CDs of soundtracks on it. So you'd think I could come up with a bit of a deeper cut, and especially if we're talking like scores.
That was going to be my next one. Was about a couple of scores that you really enjoyed.
Oh God. Okay, so again, because it's recently, anything with Graham Revell. So,
okay. Yeah.
And actually, sorry, the Crow soundtrack. Let's go there because anyone from the 90s had that CD, right?
Yeah. I got it on my shelf right over there.
Yeah, exactly. And I will go with, in terms of scores, not only Graham Revell's score for The Crow, but Dead Calm from 89, Sam Neill. Holy shit. And I say this because I had seen it in high school or college. And then after Sam Neill died, obviously, I decided to go. Normally when I'm paying tribute, in fact, I did this yesterday with Chuck Russell. I popped in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I go for the tried and trues. But with Sam Neill, I was like, I'm going to go in a different direction and watch a movie I either haven't seen before or I haven't seen in a long time. So I popped in Dead Calm.
Great movie.
Which is amazing.
Great
Holy
movie.
crap. But that score, I was like, I need this in my playlist. I was pretty blown away by that. And it just depends on the mood. Like for years when I drive in Chicago, rush hour, for example, give me some Mark Mancina and the Speed score. I'll pop that shit in while I'm tearing through Chicago rush hour. I'm not joking, because it is. It's like, oh, you know, I'll talk to people about, in an automatic, you can manually downshift, right? And they're like, what's that? I'm like, do this. You've done that before? Yeah, I've done it before in emergency situations, but know your car, know what you can do. And so, yeah, I've had to do some baby driver shit over the years. The
Nice.
passenger in the car doesn't always agree with me on my baby driver shit. But yeah. So it just depends on the situation and the mood. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
It's funny you mentioned driving and listening to the speed score, because it just made me think of my brother Greg, my late brother, who passed away a couple of years ago. Back when the PlayStation came out, the PlayStation 1, okay? When
I had a PS1.
When we thought it was the most amazing video games, ever. There was a game called Jet Moto. I don't know if you ever played it, but basically
I remember the name. I never played it.
It was a racing game, but you were on like these jet skis that went all terrain, okay? These crazy courses and shit. But there was 3 musical tracks that played as background music, and one of them was the fucking main score from Speed. And
dun, dun.
Exactly. And so you're like jumping off of buildings and shit, listening to that. Right. And it's like, so as soon as you said, I'd be driving into Chicago listening to this Speed score, that was my brother. He'd be like, this fucking music, man.
I mean, we've all done that, right? Especially if we're in a bad mood. I got to go for a drive. I'm not saying drive recklessly, but you get in your car, you pop in something loud and metally, and you crank it, and you drive around for an hour or so. And after your tympanic membrane has burst, then you come home and you're a little bit more chill. It was very cathartic. Yeah.
Live and Die in LA soundtrack's good for that too. Okay, I generally don't like synth music that much, and I'm definitely not a Wang Chung guy. But something about that fucking soundtrack is just, it's amazing, and I love driving with that in the background. It's just something about it. I don't know what.
I will respectfully disagree on the synth, because I love synth, but also that kind of explains why you don't like It Follows, because It Follows without the synth is
okay. All right. Let's get into It Follows.
Sorry, not trying to be a dick or anything.
It's not that I didn't like it. Okay. I thought it was overrated, because I remember when it came out, everybody was saying that it was like this greatest new.
It's the second coming.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's fair. It's not the second coming.
There were so many comparisons to Carpenter, and it's like, okay, the score, I understand that comparison, because it does. Yeah. It sounds like a John Carpenter ripoff as far as music goes, and most people love it, but to me it was distracting, because it was like it was imitating Carpenter, and it wasn't Carpenter, and it was like it took me out of the movie. But what really took me out of the movie, and I can go into spoilers because that fucking movie's over a decade old now.
It's 2014.
I thought the premise of it was phenomenal. Okay, I mean, really is.
Yeah.
But when they're shooting at this thing in the pool, and you're seeing that's when the movie fell apart for me. And I was like, okay. Up until that, because it was almost like he painted himself in a corner and didn't know where to go. And that's where he went. And I was like, you could have gone in any direction but that, and I would have totally been on board. So now I have heard that they finally are coming out with a sequel to it.
Yeah. Called They Follow.
They Follow or something like that.
Yep,
yeah.
Yep.
As much as, and again, I don't hate that movie. I just think it's overrated. I own it, but it's not one that I go back to a lot. However, if there is a follow-up to it, I will check it out just to see if it wraps up this in a satisfactory way. Because in a way, this will be totally sidetracked, but trust me, there's a point to this.
It's your show, man.
28 weeks later, okay? When that movie came out, I hated it. I thought it was a piece of shit, especially the ending. Because the ending just came out of nowhere, and I was like, what the fuck? Then The Bone Temple came out, and I begrudgingly watched it because I didn't like 28 Weeks Later. And not only did I think that was a vast improvement on 28 Weeks Later and wrap that storyline up in a satisfactory way, okay? It might be my favorite in the entire series. I mean,
Oh,
it
okay.
literally blew me away, okay,
Right.
by how much I enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that this movie will be similar to that. That even though I was underwhelmed with the original property, the sequel will tie up whatever loose ends I might have. And then I'll go, you know what? I was wrong. That first one isn't as bad as I thought. Now it all makes sense. You know, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
And not to digress for 10 seconds, just for anyone out there, any of your listeners who are into dark synth scores, the Come True, not to harp on that one, but the Come True score, like that's, I regularly spin that. Amazing. And yes, heavy Carpenter influence in there, but I'm a dark synth guy.
Yeah.
In an alternate life, I'm pure unadulterated goth. So there you go. I got the ponytail and everything.
Did you see Primate?
I have not seen Primate yet. It's
like
on my list.
You'll like the score of that.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Because that's
awesome.
like a keyboard. That score reminded me of the score from Phantasm.
Oh, nice.
You know, that type of keyboard play,
right.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think you'd look. And that movie's fun. It's not going to win any awards, but as far as animal attack movies go,
right,
it's got good special effects.
Nice.
My good friend Daniel's here. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Thank you for being here. And Greg is here. Hi, Greg. How you doing, my friend? Alan says, on the soundtrack theme, I'm going to go to a concert next month. John Williams versus Hans Zimmer. It's our national orchestra doing it. Should be fun. That sounds great. Are the two of them going to get in a cage match? Because I'll go with Hans Zimmer. He's got like 20 years on.
It'll be a 10-second cage match.
But no, both of those guys.
Wins us sold. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds like a phenomenal show, actually, Alan. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah,
that's something I would enjoy. Greg says, "What about Oh, here you go. What about soundtracks you get tired of?" Because I know what comes up to mind for me immediately. Anybody who knows me knows what I'm gonna say. Fucking Dirty Dancing. Fucking Dirty Dancing.
Yeah. I think when it comes to and understand, in fact, I mentioned it was one of my favorite movies earlier, Ghostbusters. I listened to that soundtrack 5.2 million times as a kid.
Yeah.
So even the song, when that comes on the radio, I skip it. Yeah. And not because of the whole copyright infringement issue there, but yeah. I don't know, because again, it just depends on the day. There are things that I can't hear anymore. And for various reasons, like, actually, this came up on one of your recent episodes of Talking Movies. Pure Country. I haven't been able to listen to that soundtrack or see that movie because my first wife, like I got a punch card or something, but that was her big thing. We played that song at our wedding and everying. So I don't listen to that anymore, as an example. But generally,
I get it.
Yeah.
My wife loved Dirty Dancing. So.
Well, that's fair. That's one of those. I spent a number of years hating Dirty Dancing, and then about 10 years ago, something flipped switch wise, and I was like, oh, I get it. Now I actually like that movie a lot. But yeah, I spent decades being like, nope, this sucks. I hate it. And now I enjoy it. In fact, pretty much if it's a Swayze movie, I'm in.
Oh, I love Swayze.
Yeah.
I mean, with that same psycho ex-bitch, I'm sorry, my ex-wife, on our honeymoon, as a matter of fact, we went and saw Roadhouse. Now, Roadhouse is a great fucking movie.
And see, that was another one I hated for years because it was too popular.
Oh,
and then I came around. Oh, now I live by Dalton's rules.
That's right.
So
the double douche. I mean, it's just one of those great. I mean, how fucking cool is Sam Elliott in that movie? I mean, he's just the epitome of cool. It's just
absolutely.
And the dialogue, "I used to fuck guys like you in prison," is one of the greatest lines in movie history.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I love Roadhouse. I do. Tom says, What movie? We were talking about Dead Calm earlier.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because he was talking about Sam Neill.
Yep.
So, but thank you for being here, Tom. Appreciate it, buddy. Real check here.
I know if I can just, because I know I saw in the comments, In the Mouth of Madness is probably my favorite Sam. Somebody was mentioning it earlier. That's probably my favorite Sam Neill film.
There we go. Tom, I saw In the Mouth of Madness in the cinema. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, goddamn, I love that movie.
I was lucky enough. Okay, I saw the first Carpenter movie I ever saw was
it Escape from New York?
Escape from New York at the drive-in. At the drive-in. Okay, and from that point on, I saw every Carpenter movie at the cinema up until The Ward. That's the only one I never saw. And most of those movies I saw multiple times because I worked at the cinema.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I mean, they live in Prince of Darkness and Starman for sure, and Christine for sure. Shit, man, I must have seen each one of those movies a dozen times, you know, on the big screen. So good time to be working at the theater, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here real quickly. Villainous Vixen, check out the mysterious movie Domain. She is amazing. Okay. Oh, it must be a TV show. Okay. Or channel, rather.
Or a channel.
How about the score for Candyman? Oh, yeah, Philip Glass.
Oh, yeah.
Good call, Dan.
Candyman, the movie, is hypnotic for me. So, yeah, absolutely.
Be my victim. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. You live in Wisconsin. Okay, so do I.
But I heard about that.
I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. And Cabrini Green was notorious for being a place that you didn't want to be. Okay.
Right.
And they filmed that fucking movie there before they tore those projects down. So that shit is real. They didn't do no set decoration.
No.
When they go into that bathroom and you see that nasty ass bathroom, that's the way it was. I watched the comment because again, it's another Scream Factory release I own. You listen to the commentaries and the behind the scenes. They were paying off gangbangers, not so much to be security, just to make sure that they weren't going to come in there and rob them and do this and do that and the other and stuff. And I mean, I believe it because again, that area was so bad back then. The cops didn't even go there. They were like, "Fuck you," you know. I mean, it was just that place was literally across the street from where the White Sox used to play.
Nice. Can I throw in something when you're done with that story?
I'm done. I mean, it's just
something I kind of buried with the lead is I have actually worked on 2 movies, and they're both on stream. But your story reminded me of one of them. I've worked on a found footage movie called Gags the Clown, and one I have stories, but night 2 of filming, I'm not going to put it on Cabrini Green level. It wasn't. It was in Green Bay. But it was this building that had been built in the early aughts. It was supposed to be, hey, this is going to be the new office complex. All sorts of offices will be in here. And it just never happened. They built the building. No one moved in. It quickly became, just this the homeless people were hanging out there and everything. And I'm not trying to disparage homeless people.
No.
But when
somewhere
I was
want to be.
Yeah, it was. And I was the key PA on this movie because why not? The first movie I worked on, make me the key PA. But I was friends with the producer, director, and then they co-wrote the film. So we were told up front, be prepared because as PAs, if somebody's going to clear the building, like we have any damn authority, we were told up front, you might run into some trouble because it is known that there are people who sleep in there and you might run into, we never, not 1 second. We found signs of habitation. But it was a creepy fucking place. Like there were parts of it that were out of back rooms. But yeah, that was, in fact, that night of shooting, if you watch the Blu-ray or the director producer commentary at all, I got a full 60-second shout out because of something I did at that night of shooting at that location.
Nice.
So if you're really interested, because pat myself on the back here, it's right at the end of the movie where it goes black to go to the credits, turn on the commentary at that point, and it's right at a minute of just A Story About Me.
your
So there we go.
15 minutes of fame there, Ray.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Needle drops.
Mm.
Give me some of your favorite
Okay,
needle
so
drops.
did you say least favorite or most favorite?
No, some of your favorites.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I heard least. I'm like, dude, I got no freaking
No.
idea. Most, okay. So I'm going to say just the ones that came to mind first to go with The Cure from The Crow, where he's applying the makeup. And, oh, dude. Yeah. Punches the mirror. Holy crap. Footloose, the Kenny Loggins Heaven Helps the Man, where he's doing the dance thing and the, I don't even know. Warehouse is not the correct word, but and then for maybe more a deeper cut, the 2015 movie Final Girls, not to be confused with the 2015 movie The Final Girl. Brilliant bit of marketing there. So that said, without spoiling, hopefully near the end of the movie, there's a needle drop of Kim Carnes' Betty Davis eyes. It is devastating.
Gotcha.
It is devastating if you watch the movie. Like I cry, and I cry at Die Hard just to give context here. But man, there is that, and it's near the end of Final Girls, which I fucking love that movie. I will bang the drum for it forever. But that needle drop with Betty Davis eyes is just like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Very good, sir. Very good. Alan says Possession with Sam Neill is a total head fuck, but I love it. That is a fucking head.
Yeah.
They're remaking that, apparently.
Yeah, I heard about that. I've got the Mondo Blu-ray box set of that one. Yeah.
That's not one that I go back to a lot because it's
correct.
It is
that
a
is the
hard
correct
watch,
answer.
man. It's a hard watch.
Yeah.
And my buddy Larry is here. Hey, Larry, how you doing, buddy? Starman is underrated. Yeah, I believe so. It was a sleeper hit at the time, but it's one of those movies that it's been forgotten. Yeah, but yeah, it's very good, and he agrees that the Candyman score is great.
Yep.
Daniel says the score to The Rock is so good.
Oh my God, yes.
Bought the score. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
and it's without a doubt Michael Bay's best movie. It's just
it is absolutely his
head
best
and shoulders
movie.
better than anything else he's got out. I'm sorry, it is. Greg says the Terminator soundtrack is epic.
Oh yeah. I regularly
drums,
play that one, and the T2 score. I regularly just have that going on my earbuds. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite of all time, obviously, is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Okay, but the one that just gets me going, the fucking Conan Barbarian.
Basil Polidorus.
Yes.
Yeah. Battle of the Mounds.
The Anvil of Crom. It's just.
Or the Anvil of Crom. Yeah.
Oh my God! It's just I hear those drums and it's like I want to eat some raw meat and bark at the moon. It's just oh God, it's so fucking good.
You want to punch a horse? Yeah. Raise into animal cruelty. No, I'm
not. And my favorite score along with The Rock is The Last of the Mohicans, which that is also a phenomenal.
Yeah, Trevor. I have that score. In fact, that is the first CD I ever bought. Was the Last of the Mohican score by Trevor Jones, right?
Nice. I believe so.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, this might be the comment of the day, Tom.
Uh-oh.
First, he says Betty Davis had weird eyes, but not as weird as Meg Foster. Meg Foster's eyes, man.
I love both their eyes, and you know what? Look at. I'm going to step into some poop here you're not going to like, Jim, but look at Meg Foster in The Lords of Salem. Without those eyes.
I've seen it.
Oh, I know you have. And I know you don't like it. I love that movie. I love that movie. But Meg Foster's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Meg Foster. I've always loved Meg Foster.
Yep.
But those eyes, man, I mean, yeah. First time I saw her in a movie, I was like, are those contacts? Because I couldn't believe that
it's,
and striking is the only way to describe her eyes.
That's fair. Yep.
Kenny Loggins, Highway to the Danger Zone, I can go without for a while.
That said,
Top
I'm
Gun
glad it was in the
soundtrack in
opening
general.
credits for Maverick.
Yep. Top Gun soundtrack in general. I loved it at the time. I mean, I owned it.
Yeah, I've heard it
I
too
haven't
often.
listened to it in years. I would much rather listen to the Iron Eagle soundtrack. Let's put it that way. You know,
Okay.
that was a good soundtrack, man.
It was absolutely, yeah. That
That
Queen
I was
song.
going to
I
say
mean,
One
I ran
Vision
around
from
saying
Queen.
fried chicken for several years.
Yep. Chicken vision. Let's see here. Here we go. Carlos wants to know Beverly Hills Cop versus Lethal Weapon.
You want to go first, or you want me to take this one?
I'm going with Lethal Weapon.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm going with Lethal Weapon. But that said, Beverly Hills Cop is, I watch it at least annually. It's brilliant. It's just Lethal, as much as Die Hard changed the game, and it did. I don't think we have Die Hard without Lethal Weapon. Because Lethal Weapon, I'm preaching to the choir here, we've got a suicidal Riggs, right? We come out of the era of, Dirty Harry, all that, the often wrong, but never in doubt, unshakable, unflappable. And then Riggs comes into play, and he is fucked up, and he is clearly making a lot of poor life choices. And and so then it's a natural segue from that into John McClane, who isn't as confident. And he's not sure of himself. And he is outright scared, at least in the first Die Hard. After that, it's a whole different story. But then he becomes the very archetype that he broke the mold of in the first Die Hard. But, in the first Die Hard, he's scared. He doesn't know what he's doing. He freely admits he doesn't know what he's doing. So just I go with Lethal Weapon because it changed the game and paved the way for Die Hard. Yeah. But Beverly Hills Cop also changed the game in terms of action comedy. Eddie Murphy made that. That is the genre that Eddie built.
It's the star vehicle for Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Because Cobra was supposed to be
right. Exactly.
Beverly Hills Cop, and they took that script and they gave it to Eddie Murphy and they turned it into a comedy, a very successful one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Lethal Weapon took a pre-established formula, meaning the buddy movie, and refined it and made it perfect in a way. Because when you look at perfect buddy movies or buddy cop movies, Lethal Weapon's the first thing that comes up. I mean, it just does. So yeah, got to go with Lethal Weapon on that. Thank you, Carlos. That's great. Of course, it says the Lethal or the Rocky IV. We gotta have a montage.
When I was in high school, I sucked as an athlete. I still suck as an athlete. But when I was out for sports, like the whole pregame warm-up stuff, it was the Rocky IV soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carlos was talking about that on our show the other night. He says that when he'd go to the gym, people would be working out to that fucking soundtrack.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, that's just, pumps them up. So,
yep.
Greg, Lethal Weapon, awesome score. Yeah, fucking Eric Clapton on that with the sexy sax on the side.
Yeah. I will say the one thing I hate about the Lethal Weapon score is simply it fell into one of those horrible 80s zeitgeist things of we have to have a theme song that's named after the movie and it plays during the credits. The actual song named Lethal Weapon, and it is a raging piece of poo.
Yeah, I like Honeymoon Suite, but not that song. You're right.
Oh, it's so bad. But otherwise, yes, absolutely agree. Yep.
Yeah, it's a terrible song. You're right. Daniel says, scored due to Zombie Flesh Eaters, The Beyond, New York Ripper, House by the Cemetery. Yeah, he loves those Giallo films.
The Beyond especially, but yeah.
Okay. And we can't mention Lethal Weapon without Crazy Gary Busey. I love Crazy Gary Busey.
Yeah. As I'm making faces at the camera. Yeah. We should move on.
All right. All right. Now, real quick. When we did our Time Warp episode, we've done a couple of them on our other show. Okay. We did 86. We did 87. You were in the comments on one of them. And you left a very interesting comment. because it took all three
I
of us by
remember.
surprise. You
Oh.
said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that if you were ever on this show, you would go with 1999, the greatest
Oh, yeah.
movie year ever.
Hell yeah.
To which us
Of
old
my
fuckers,
lifetime.
yeah,
Of my lifetime.
us old fuckers, you know, in our mid
1982.
That's my year. Okay, I was gonna say. So what I was gonna say, just for shits and grins, okay, because yeah, 1982 is my year. But I was gonna. That's kind of unfair. But I was gonna say, take three movies that you would say are either the best or your favorite from your year, 1999, and I'll go back 10 years to 1989. Okay.
Okay.
And we'll compare
Oh,
our two little lists.
that's a good year too. And that's one that gets forgotten about.
Yeah.
Of all that, because people are like 82, 84, 82, 84. It's like, dude, 89 was a hell of a year.
84 is top heavy.
Yeah.
89
that's
not.
fair.
82 is not. 86 and 87 are not. But 84 is. 83 by and large sucks. There's a couple of great movies in 83, but it's not a very good year. But yeah, like I said, 99 is a great year. Okay, it really is. I would say it's the second best year in the 90s because to me 95 is a phenomenal year. Everybody says 94, and just like 84, it's top heavy. There's, you got Clerks, you got Pulp Fiction, and you got Shawshank Redemption. Hey, you can't, and to a lesser degree Forrest Gump. You can't get much better than that, okay? But then you go back further and you got shit like It's Pat.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a new documentary about that, by the way, that I've been wanting to see. But yeah.
So give me your 399 movies.
I will just let's see: The Matrix, Magnolia, Office Space, Fight Club, Three Kings, and even though it's there's Being John Malkovich. There's even though I love it ironically. The Boondock Saints, another awesome one. South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. I mean, Cruel Intentions, Virgin Suicides, Girl Interrupted, and
99
I could go on for a long time. Yeah, those are all good. And it's nowhere near my favorite Kubrick movie, but we had Eyes Wide Shut. We even had, Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest is a great fucking movie.
Right. Sleepy Hollow. We had, again, not the best, but the second Austin Powers movie, The Spy Who Shagged Me. And then at the same time, we
that's a lot more than three, man.
Yeah. When you don't have Ray on a leash, shit flies. Sorry. Okay, I'll shut up now because I can keep going.
I got to come up with 25 movies from '89 now.
Chop. Let's go, Jim. Keep up.
No, just off the top of my head, I'll just go with Lethal Weapon 2, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Parenthood, Batman, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You really want to go deep? How about UHF?
And you forgot Rambo 3.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far yet, but no, Rambo 3 wasn't 89. That was 88.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Sorry.
If I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
What was summer of '89? But
a lot of shit.
Stallone also had Lockup in summer of '89. I remember.
Yes, that was the Stallone movie. Was Lockup that summer? Okay. But Shocker, which I've always enjoyed. Fucking Roadhouse. Okay. We were just talking about.
Yeah, it. Roadhouse was definitely '89.
So again, '99 is a great year. Don't get me wrong. Okay. My point is to me, it's arguably the best year of the 90s, but I don't know if it's the best year ever.
Yeah. I won't put 89 up, but hell of a year. Batman alone would make that movie year a standout.
Yeah, 89.
Yeah, absolutely. There was also Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, again, we could play this game all day long.
The Burbs, Dream Team. Yeah.
So, But no, like I said, 99. When you mentioned that in the comments, it stuck out because again, 99 it's a great fucking year, and a lot of people don't
Mhm.
remember that. They remember shit like, oh, that's the year that the Phantom Menace came out. Yeah, that is the year that
Sure
the Phantom
is.
Menace came out. But that's the year that the Matrix came out of nowhere, and people were like, the
Yeah.
Phantom what? Because that's the way I felt. I walked out of the Matrix. It's one of the only times in my life I went and saw the Matrix without knowing anything about it other than Keanu Reeves
Mhm.
was in it. All right.
Right.
Walked out of that movie and immediately turned around, bought a ticket, and walked right back in.
Nice.
It's very rare. I haven't done that very often in my life. That was one of the times. Now, that movie, a lot of people are like, yeah, well, that movie hasn't aged well. No, it has. It's aged great. Unfortunately, it got ripped off so much for the last 20 years that people got sick of it. And those sequels took a lot of the goodwill from the original.
Man, those sequels. Yeah. Not a fan of the
You know, if I
sequels.
live in a universe where those sequels don't exist, The Matrix is considered one of the greatest movies in the last 50 years. But because of those sequels, people are like, yeah, fuck The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's fair or not, but it is or not. But speaking of The Matrix, here's a little game that I started this time around a couple of weeks ago with poor Alan and continued it with my friend Davey. This is called Pick One. I give
Oh, okay.
you several franchises.
Okay.
Not only do you get to pick your favorite, but the caveat is when you pick one of these, the other ones cease to exist. They never existed at all.
Okay.
So
So
think
like a
about that.
desert island type thing?
No, we get to the desert island at the end of the show.
Okay, cool.
This is just alternate universe, is what we'll
Gotcha. All
call
right.
this. Okay.
All
So
right.
again, not only is it your favorite, it's easy to go, okay, this is my favorite. But
Right.
keep in mind, if you pick
You
one,
lose the
the
others.
other ones never existed. Okay.
All right. So
So
that's fair.
Indiana Jones, Star Wars, James Bond,
Oh, Jesus.
Mad Max, The Matrix, Star Trek. You get
I have to pick one of those?
one. This is the game that makes everybody go, oh, fuck.
Ah. Well, it's by no means easy to come down to these two, but I'm down to Star Wars or James Bond. I'm probably gonna go with Star Wars. I'll keep Star Wars, James Bond being a close second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific reason? Is it just your favorite or?
Uh, I'm thinking. I'm thinking ripple effect. I think the world, especially culture, would be and greatly impacted by the absence of all of those.
Yeah.
But specifically, I think the loss of Star Wars would be the most impactful.
Yeah. Star
So,
Wars. I mean, I know firsthand seeing that shit
oh, okay.
firsthand as a
At my
10-year-old.
end, you disappeared for like
Oh,
20 seconds.
no. You good now? You good?
Can you hear me, Jim?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Maybe it's just at my end.
Yeah. It looks okay on my end. Can you still hear me?
Hmm.
Can you hear me at all? Here, I'll tell you what.
Sorry, I'm looking pensive because at my end, your screen is frozen and I am not hearing anything.
Okay.
I wonder if you are actually not hearing me.
No, I can hear you fine.
So I'll maybe say in the comments, could somebody shout out if they can hear me?
Yeah. In the comments, can you hear either of us or both of us? Please let us know. Anyone at all. Because this would be really embarrassing.
I'm not hearing anything. Let me refresh my page.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to guess it's at my end. Oh, okay. So Greg says, I hear both.
Yeah, that's what Greg said.
Yeah, and I don't know.
And both of you are fine. Yeah.
Alan okay, I will say this, Jim. Unfortunately, you're frozen on my screen and I'm hearing nothing.
All right.
So let me refresh at my end. So it does appear that it's at my end.
Okay. How about now? Can you hear me now? Oh, you're on mute, Ray. You're on mute. There
All
you go.
right.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
So
Can you hear me? Apparently not.
not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine.
Well, I'm seeing the recording going here.
Somebody let him know that I can hear him, please.
The recording part, the timer is going correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, sorry everybody in the chat, but
But man,
okay, so okay, there you go. Now he jumped out, so let's see if he comes back in. But I want to thank everybody for putting up with this. I'm sorry if this kind of got sidetracked or not. Uh, but real quickly before Ray comes back, hopefully he'll be back, and hopefully you guys can still hear me. I will go ahead and take care of some business real quickly. This coming Tuesday on July 28th, on the next uh, episode of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim, our very special guest will be Corey, the Rat Bastard, and we are going to be talking about our drive-in memories, some of our favorite drive-in memories. Um, that was supposed to be done at the beginning of the month rather, but we needed to reschedule it. So that will be this coming Tuesday, and hopefully you guys can join us for that. And then on this show, I mentioned it earlier at the beginning of the show, but 2 weeks from today, which would be August 8th, episode 29, my very special guest will be Jen at the Villainous Vixen. 2 weeks after that, on August 22nd, my guest will be Roy at Blue Roy Movies. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry, guys. I know this is thrilling. Okay. He's in the process of trying to reboot his computer, so hopefully he'll be back on before we leave. But anyways, on August 22nd, episode 30, the guest will be Roy from Blue Roy Movies. And the following show, which would be on September 5th, which would be episode 31, my special returning guest will be Ollie from Ollie Loves Films. And I'm going to be leaving all the links to those channels after the show, of course. So, again, Ray is in the process of rebooting, so hopefully he's able to rejoin us. If not, if you guys got any questions or comments, please feel free to go ahead and throw them my way to kill some time, because we still got about another 10, 15 minutes, and hopefully, he'll come back and we can finish up the show properly. Let me send him a message real quickly. No problem, Ray. Period. Okay. Let's get back into comments here real quickly. Let's see here. Tom says YouTube has many. Yeah, YouTube has been screwy lately. I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's StreamYard or what the deal is. Greg says YouTube has been buggy lately. You guys are the best. No, actually, you guys are the best. You guys in the comments. I really mean that. Without you, there would be no show. So thank you so much, all of you guys. Okay, let's see here.
All right.
Cool. Hey, there he is.
I have no idea what happened there. That was bizarre.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm glad you were able to come back for our last, 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
I was sitting there just like juggling and tap dancing and, dancing like a fucking clown. Thanks a lot, Ray. Hey, another 89 banger, Weekend at Bernie's. Fuck yeah, man. I love Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah. I'm one of the few people that like the sequel. So.
Yeah, it's been too long since I've seen either of those, but I recall I enjoyed the original a
lot. Matthew says, I had a great time. Thank you, Matthew. I really appreciate it, buddy. And Ollie says, about to go on to Club Dread. Jen says, fun show. Thank you, Jen. And Greg says, "Welcome back, Ray." Okay, another 89, Ghostbusters 2, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I know a lot of people are. So,
Vigo.
And Larry is also a fan of Weekend 2. Yeah, I mean it's stupid, but it's a fun movie. Okay, since we had so much fun with that pick one, let's do it again.
Okay.
But this is the horror edition.
Oh, neat.
And again, one franchise.
Right.
You get Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise.
I'm going to go with Halloween. It's not my favorite of the franchises you mentioned, Nightmare on Elm Street being, but just in terms of, because I'm looking at, ripple effect of where would be pop culture wise. I think without Halloween, that just devastates the landscape more than others. And I understand in a vacuum, where would we have gone without the Halloween franchise? Who knows? Other doors would have opened and a whole lot of other stuff. Yeah, I'm going to say Halloween.
Yeah, no, Halloween definitely started the whole slasher craze, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back further and say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but to me, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween are totally different. Totally different.
Absolutely.
So.
Yep.
All right. No, that's a great answer. How about another top three? Okay. Top three directors.
Spike Lee, Catherine Bigelow. I used to say Kevin Smith, and I still like some of it. Like, unlike you, I actually enjoyed Clerks 3 a lot. I guess I'll go with Kubrick. I could go on for a while. I will a newer. I know you didn't ask for four, and I can't remember his name. The guy who did Hokum and Oddity is one I've been.
I know who you're talking about, but his name escapes me.
I'm a big fan of those two films, and even Curry Barker. I really like his stuff. I see where he's going. But anyway, you didn't ask about that, so I'm going to shut up.
No, that's all good, man. Top three sequels.
Terminator 2, Aliens. I'll go with Clerks 2 on that. Yeah.
Top three remakes.
I mean, The Fly is at the top of that list. Probably The Thing. Yeah, just do the clean sweep of the 80s horror, The Blob.
The holy trifecta.
Yeah, if I thought about it for longer, I'm sure that there. In fact, I know at one point, one of your Talking Movies podcasts, this came up, and I actually started making a list of. It's not in my top three, but for example, Scarface is another one I love. I actually like it more than the original.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's what I did on my list. It was remakes that I liked better than the original. So yeah.
I get into arguments with people about that. Because, like when Body Snatchers comes up, I'm a huge fan of the 70s version. I know
that's fair.
An awful lot of people love the 50s version, which I do too. I have a lot of respect for that movie, but I saw Body Snatchers, the 70s version, as a child at the theater. That movie's fucking PG, okay? And it shouldn't be. But the ending of that movie destroyed me. I mean, it just destroyed me, and it's just one of the greatest endings of all time. So
I also enjoy that one better than the original. Yeah. But I love the original. So.
But the one that I really get into trouble with, and this will probably start some shit in the comments. You mentioned earlier how much you love Suspiria. I actually like the remake more.
I love the remake, and it is superior in some ways. In part, they're in some ways they're apples and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
I
have both of them on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But yeah, I prefer the original. But man, that remake is so good.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem I've got with the remake is that it's about 20 to 30 minutes too long.
It's a bit long.
It is long, okay. But the thing that before I say this, okay, let me say this. I respect the hell out of Argento. Okay, I do. I respect him to the nth degree, as well as Suspiria. I respect the hell out of that too. but it's one of those movies that I respect more than I enjoy. Because to me, it's always
Okay.
been more about style than substance. Whereas the remake adds more of that substance and less style. And
That's
that's the
fair.
reason why I'm not saying it's better or worse. It just worked for me, but in a
It
better
makes
way.
more sense. Like if you want to
Absolutely.
explain how you got from A to B to C to D,
It's a lot
oh,
more
the
coherent.
remake.
It's a lot more
Yeah.
coherent, in my opinion.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
the ending's
Giallo
kind
being
of
notoriously incoherent.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite Argento film is Deep Red. I fucking love Deep Red.
Okay.
I think that movie's great. You know, so okay. Here's the only, well, one of the only non-movie questions I'm going to ask.
Ooh.
Top 3 bands.
Bands specifically, not just musical acts. Okay. I'll go
Well,
with.
you can go with musical acts if you want.
Oh, either way. So bands would be Rush, the Rainmakers, Tom Petty, and the Heartbreakers. And most people haven't heard of the Rainmakers. That's yeah, they're Kansas City band, came out of the '80s. They actually had some coverage in Rolling Stone back in the day. Yeah, yeah, but there you go.
And no, people, I did not. I knew he was a Rush fan, but I didn't know he was a huge Rush fan until after we became friends.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we're throwing in musical, because again, I've got close to 2,000 CDs, a couple hundred cassettes. I don't have much in the way of vinyl, but yeah. And again, my prior career, part of what I did, I wrote for a couple of music magazines. The only one that people might have heard of is Goldmine, but I used to write for Goldmine back in the day. So yeah, I've got lots of thoughts on music as well.
Yeah, when you told me that you had a chance to interview Geddy Lee and passed, I can't tell you how heartbroken I was, man.
I was heartbroken, but I was very much, I was teaching.
You said that it was because
class
of
at
family.
that time.
Yeah, you said it was family, and it's like, you know what? I get it.
My code of ethics, I was like, I got to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, how many babies do I got to kill?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of music, real quickly.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that I know you've seen a lot of live shows, okay? But what was your first concert that you ever saw?
That was Rush, Roll the Bones.
No, you weren't living in Kansas at the time. You weren't in Wisconsin, right?
Right. I moved to Wisconsin in 2000, so it was In fact, my first 3 concerts were Rush. It was so it would have been Roll the Bones, Counterparts, and Test for Echo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Test for Echo, even though that's my least favorite. I mean, a lot of people are probably like, oh God, he's back to the Rush shit. But anyways, Test for Echo is my least favorite Rush album. It's probably my favorite Rush tour. Because it was the first time that they ever went without an opening band.
An evening with Rush.
And it was the first time that they played 2112 in its entirety, the first side of 2112. And more importantly, I was at the show at Tinley Park that they recorded for different stages. So about 80% of that concert is on that CD. And Driven, there's a part in Driven where Geddy breaks out the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and you hear one guy, woo! I'm convinced that's me. I'm fucking convinced because I was standing by the mixer.
You're on a Rush album, dude.
Exactly. I will go with that to the day I fucking die. My buddy Sean,
as you should,
who I do the show with, was at the show in Cleveland that they filmed on the DVD, the Live in Cleveland, which is a phenomenal show. Okay. And I give him shit about it all the time. I'm like, you fucker, you got to, but I'm like, but I'm immortalized on CD.
Yeah, I was at that tour. I was at the Dallas show, which they only took one track for different stages, the trees.
Yeah, that's what you
can't
mentioned.
Hear me. I'm nowhere on there, but yeah, I was like, woohoo! I was there.
Nope, I'm the woo guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, was there a bucket list show, like a band that you wish you could have seen that you never got a chance to, and you probably never will?
Yeah, there's two. Two.
What are they?
Let's start with B.B. King. And again, it was for some reason I thought he'd have more tours, and the other one was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And that last tour, I was just not in a place where I was like, oh man, the schedule's not lining up, and I can't make it. And should I cancel? Tom's still young. He'll do another tour. And then, of course, October 1, 2017 rolls around. He dies.
Yeah.
Because I've been a huge Heartbreakers fan since the early 90s. I have the playback box set from 93, 94. In fact, I was texting with a friend about that box set yesterday. But man, BB King and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers are both ones where I just went, I fucked up. I should have done something more to see them.
I was lucky enough to see Tom Petty on the Wildflowers tour.
Oh, and that is my favorite Tom Petty album.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah. At Alpine here up at East Troy.
Oh, yeah.
And here's a quick story. Okay, and this, I am not embellishing this. This is the absolute God honest truth. We're in the lawn, okay, on the hill. All right. Torrential downpour. I mean, it's just raining, cats and dogs. We didn't give a shit. It's the middle of summer, so it was still warm. You know, we're doing our thing. And he stops the show in the middle of it and says, "Hey, can I have the house lights on?" And he turns the house lights on to all the people in the back. And he's like, "I just want to say thank you to all you people standing out there, you know, this and that and the other. You know, you guys are the true fans, you know, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Maybe if we all put together some positive energy here, we can get the rain to stop long enough for us to do this song." And he went into the, you don't know how it feels, okay? And I swear to God, this is how it was. As soon as he got to the point, let's get to the point, let's roll another joint, it stopped fucking raining. Nice. And I did. I lit a big ass fatty. Me and my friend sat there because we were trying to all night long and fucking started smoking it. The second that fatty was done, it started raining again. And it rained for the rest of the show.
Should have brought more, Jim. It's your fault.
It was one of those karma moments, but we didn't care. We were doing slides down the hill all night. I mean, it was a great time. It really was. Nice. Yeah, I know we're at the 2-hour mark, and like I said, outside of the technical issues, Ray, this has been an absolute treat. I can't thank you.
Oh yeah, love this. Thank you so much.
Hopefully, I can coerce you to come back or to appear on the other show with Sean and Kenny. I think you'd be a great guest on that show as well. Cool. I know you don't have any YouTube channels or anything, but do you have anything on social media that you want to plug or anything that you want to plug at all? By all means, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And because it's strictly just a hobby, especially with my semester starting in a month now. I'm on Blue Sky only in terms of my Film Nerdness 101. It's a page I created on Blue Sky. It's just a small community, slowly been building it. I think I've just passed 120 followers on there.
I'm one of them.
But yep. As I am a follower in yours, and through my own stupidity, if you go on there, there's actually a Film Nerdness 101 page. Hard stop. Through my own stupidity, without going too much down that rabbit hole, I lost control of that page, access to that page. So you're welcome to go there and read my posts. I'm very proud of what I've put there and the work I put into it and everything. But the page I can actually do anything with and that I will respond to and that sort of thing is the now Film Nerdist 101 with Ray Sidman. Right. And it's a better page. I learned from that first one and I've improved upon it, I feel. Film Nerdist 101 with Ray Sidman on Blue Sky. Go there. Would love to interact with you there. It's just my little cinephile side gig, totally a hobby. Yeah. So thank you. I will also throw out we're months away, but come next May, I'm really wanting to push what I have dubbed physical media from the 31 days of May. I want to push watching one title from or doing something with your physical media collection one a day, whether it's watching a movie, watching TV show, listening to an album, playing a video game, something from your physical media collection once each, for each day. Oh, I listened to a 30-minute album that day. Rock on. Cool. Physical media, just MAYDIA. I actually meant to do this like 2 years ago. And then every time we get to June and I go, damn it. So I've been making note. Have you met Ray? So this next May I'm building up to it. I'm really going to be pushing that and hopefully maybe get some traction, but yeah, Film Nerdness 101 with Ray Sidman. And thank you for letting me spout about all that, Jim.
No, not at all. And I will be leaving Ray's links on the post that I do at the end of every episode on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Blue Sky, as a matter of fact. So,
Cool.
and please, if anybody's on Blue Sky, or if you haven't gone on Blue Sky, by all means, get out there. It's a much more decent version than Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It's just basically people that just want to talk without all the crap. Okay, for the most part. So, but once again, I want to thank everybody that popped in today, whether you left a comment or not. The show gets better every week just because of you guys. You keep it all going, and it's the reason why I do this show every couple of weeks, because you all seem to enjoy it. So, once again, I want to thank you, Ray. Like I said, you were a fantastic guest. You will be more than welcome to come back anytime you want. And like I said, I would love to have you back. I'd like to get you and a couple of my other buddies together, and we could do a music episode. I think that one would be a lot of fun. So
yeah, I think so.
But again, this was an absolute treat, sir. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So I think we are going to call it a day. I want to thank everybody once again. Want to remind everybody once again, this coming Tuesday, July 28th, on Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim, we will be doing Drive-In Memories with Corey the Rad Bastard. You can catch that either on Sean's channel at Movie Assault or the Talking Movies 2024 channel. And we will be back here in 2 weeks on the 8th of August, episode 29, with the lovely Jen at the Villainous Vixen. So that one will be a lot of fun as well. I've known Jen now for a couple of years, and that episode is well overdue. I've been trying to get her on here for quite some time. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. So once again, want to thank Ray. I want to thank everybody else. We'll catch everybody on the next one. Take care, everybody.